beautiful Libras, what's happening, what's cracking, and what's poppin', baby? It's your boy Afro CancerMoonsTarot coming at you guys with your January 2020 love tarot reading. I hope you guys are well. If so, let me know down in those comments down below, man. Keep in mind these readings are general. If they resonate, that's awesome. If not, it's not your message. Feel free to check out any other amazing tarot readers that we got here on YouTube, okay? These messages may resonate backwards or vice versa, so take the reading how it resonates if it applies to your particular situation. If you guys would like, you can follow me on Instagram and Twitter, which is all linked down below. And you guys can also check out my sister and her boyfriend's YouTube channel. First link in the description if you guys want to take a look into my family's life. But nonetheless, man, let's get into it. If you guys have missed my announcement, I have recently moved, and from December 31st to January 9th, I will not be here. I will actually be in Italy. So for that vacation with my family, I'm not going to be posting daily readings from December 31st to January 9th. But what I will have is the January mid-month. So that's why we skipped over the December mid-monthlies, so that I can have time to do the January ones and then the mid-month. So the January 2019 is now, and then when I'm on vacation, you guys will get the mid-month experience, so I don't leave you guys without any sort of content, okay? Now, let's get into it, Libra. What's going on, man? We have just exited a decade, and we are going into a new one, and I have been alive for nearly 2 decades. I am 20 years old. Holy shit, okay? I was born in 99. I was the last of the 90s generation. I appreciate that so much. I really do. I appreciate being born in the last of the 90s, man. I know some people that are 90s kids are like, nah, you ain't a 90s kid, but I am. I was born in 99, and I respect that year. I love that. Anyways, man, I grew up through a lot of cool shit, man. You know, the 2000s were dope. You know, all the stuff you'd see on Teen Nick, on Disney Channel, on Nickelodeon was really good, and now it's kind of shitty nowadays. But either way, you see what I'm saying? We've been through a good decade, guys. We've been through a good decade. You know, we've been through a good 2 of them. It's just so different now entering 2020. It's crazy. But there's a lot of beautiful things happening this year. I know a lot of people are fearful to enter 2020. Everybody thinks that 2020 is going to be a negative year. You may feel that there's just going to be so much happening that's bad for us, but I don't think so. I think entering 2020 is going to be a powerful year. I've touched basis on a lot of things, actually, about 2019. Which I'll share with you guys, I guess, because I guess it'll be some good information for you. If you guys have realized, throughout 2019, one of the biggest things for the collective was touched upon self-love. You have seen self-love everywhere in 2019. You have seen people being in relationships with themselves. People just, you know, saying, look, man, this relationship doesn't serve me. I need to learn how to love myself. You have seen that everywhere. And I think that 2019 is something that I refer to as the self-love ascension. And I think I'm going to make a separate video about what I really feel for 2020 and in regards to 2019 and how everything ties through. But just for a quick synopsis, I think that 2019 was the self-love ascension, where everybody had kind of learned of, you know, this isn't serving in my highest of good. Everyone was raising their vibration in the planet, and everyone was going through spiritual awakenings, recognizing I deserve better in my life than what I've been treated as. And I have to love myself and respect myself enough to know what I'm worthy of and to experience what I'm worthy of. And I think that's so powerful. And I think moving into 2020, it's going to be so different, because 2019, we went through and exited through so many karmic relationships. Now that we're in 2020, it's time to enter, you know, relationships that serve and be around people that serve us, right, in our highest of good. Now, when we use the term serve, we're not saying that, you know, people that do what we want and that we're controlling. We say what serve means is people that are meant or click with us or treat us how we should be treated. And I feel like in 2020, you know, a lot of the collective is going to be starting to surround themselves with good energy, just like in 2019, as we were exiting and moving away from things that gave us bad energy, such as abusive relationships, abusive friends, negative, nasty people. We were just getting away from that. And I feel like we're entering 2020, this brand new decade, with the mindset of I'm surrounding myself with things that are good for me. And that's so fucking important. So I really like that, dude. Nonetheless, though, let's get into it, Libra, and see what's happening. Messages for Libra here. Sun, Moon, Rising, and Venus signs throughout January 2020. What messages do we got coming in from Libra? My cards want to shuffle, man. Libra, Sun, Moon, Rising, and Venus signs throughout January 2020. What messages do we got coming through for Team Libra, please? Libra here. Sun, Moon, Rising, and Venus signs throughout January 2020. All right, let me get these cards to work. Thank you. Oh, I gotta get some fanning powder for my cards over here. Libra, energy between you and another person. Ooh, you got a King of Cups. Can be connecting with a water sign here, Cancer, Pisces, or Scorpio. You have a World card here, a Hierophant card here, and then you have a Page of Pentacles. Excuse me one moment, guys. So, based off what I'm currently seeing, you can be connecting with a Taurus for some of you. You can be dealing with a fixed sign, Aquarian, Taurus, Scorpio, Leo, water sign, any sign for that matter, but I usually read the major arcanas as they have more significance. So, King of Cups, World card, Hierophant card, and a Page of Pentacles. You've passed the test is immediately what came through. You've passed the test, and I don't know necessarily what that test is just yet, but as we go further in the reading, we'll take a look at what the test is. With the World card here, it symbolizes coming to the completion of a cycle. And with the Hierophant card here, it talks a lot about learning the lessons that you've needed to learn. And the King of Cups talks about compassion, and the Page of Pentacles can talk about friendship and offers. There's just so many different ways this reading can go. But from what I'm kind of getting from this reading so far, I feel like you have officially really just learned all your lessons. Wow, I saw something so powerful. Shout out to Lulu. This ties into this reading. I knew I needed to see that post this morning. House of Oshun, y'all know Lulu, she put on her Instagram today, she said, you know, people need to start taking responsibilities for their traumas, and it is something that will bother someone, right? Like if I tell you, right, you need to take responsibility for your traumas, you know, some people are going to be like, but I'm traumatized, how can I do that? You know, some people would take offense to that, but the truth of the situation is that if you don't take accountability for your traumas in order to change and move forward, then you will forever be trapped in that cycle of being traumatized. And I saw something similar to that of what was posted on her Instagram, and I was like, wow, that's so powerful. And I feel like here, Libra, you're really escaping the mentality of being stuck in your trauma and stuck in your head and stuck in things that have happened to you as if you are deserving of what has happened to you, right? Yes, negative and bad things happen to everybody, but you don't deserve the negative or bad things that do. The thing is that if you wallow in those bad things that have happened to you, you will never get to experience the good things because you are trapped in a you know, numerous cycle of negativity, and that's all you're experiencing all day in, all day out. So I feel like moving into 2020, there's a new mindset that's being birthed here. There's this new wave of positivity that's coming in for you, and with the sense of I've learned my lessons, the lessons that needed to be learned was to escape what you've suffered with, because at the end of the day, pain is inevitable, but suffering is a choice, and you're choosing no longer to you're choosing no longer to suffer. And I think that you've been suffering for a while in this energy, but at the end of the day, as raw as it is, you can choose to suffer, or you can choose to become and look at things differently and become a different person and create new and beautiful things in your life. Yeah, you're breaking the cycle. There you go. Hangman card. Wow, Libra. This is good news. This is really good news. Okay. Let me get into it a little bit more. Clarify the Hierophant card for me. Six of Cups. So, of course, being stuck in the past, being stuck in things that have happened to you. Wow, we're going to get into some law of attraction here, and the Six of Swords. Okay, so when you're stuck in the past, what exactly are you doing? Well, when you're stuck in the past, you are reacting to things that have happened to you. The key word is happened, right? So that already means you're not living presently, you're living in the past. So when people live in the past, they can never manifest new things, because in order to manifest something new, you have to be present in order to create something new in your life. If you're living in the past, you are reliving the same thing over and over again. So have you ever seen people that have similar incidences that continuously happen, right? So for example, let's just say there's this girl named Sally, and Sally is in love with men who are emotionally unavailable. Well, if Sally keeps chasing emotionally unavailable men, like the ones she's dealt with in her past, or if Sally believes that all men she ever comes across will be emotionally unavailable, then that is going to be the epitome of her cycle. She will consistently find emotionally unavailable men, and she will consistently be disappointed due to what she believes and what she believes she's worth. So you see where I'm getting at, Libra, right? When we are living in what has happened to us, we are creating the same happening. And it sounds crazy, but it's true. And I think the universe has been throwing this back in your face over and over again with things that have happened to you. You have seen cycles repeat consistently. And the reason why is because it's time for you to break that cycle. And I think moving into 2020, that self-awareness and that self-recognition here is indeed coming, because Six of Cups here to the Six of Swords, it's time to become self-aware of what I've been trapped in this entire time. You know? What I've been trapped in this entire time. Okay? So it's time to break free from that. Let's take a look here. Now, in regards to whatever's going on in your personal life. This will most likely resonate to love, but this can resonate to friends, family members, lovers. As well, Libra, this can resonate to things that you do that are self-deception. So for some of you Libras, right, you may feel as if, basically, put it this way, this reading can apply to anything. And the way that I say that is that anybody can get themselves trapped into a cycle based on whatever they've experienced. Everybody's traumatic experiences are different. Some people's traumas are relationship-wise. Other people's traumas are family-wise. Other people's traumas are traumas that, you know, you could have been in class and a teacher could have, you know, said, hey, you don't look good. And you, boom, you've lived with insecurity for the rest of your life, you know? And a lot of this stuff happens in childhood. Other traumas could be that maybe a parent had left you at an early age and you are so fearful of that every relationship you bonded with a man, you couldn't trust him and he left because you believe that men always leave, right? So these are all naturally programmed things that can get programmed into your mind at a very young age that can continuously manifest into a cycle. So that's why when you're young, you know, it's best to, and of course everybody's situation is different, but when you're young, if you are a parent having a child, it's best to, you know, be there for your child as much as you can so that they can move past any sort of traumatic experiences they have. So what I'm going to do here, Libra, is I'm going to take a look into your recent relationships. Now keep in mind, Libra, these can apply to your friends, your family members, your lovers. So this could be your ex-boyfriend, your mom, your dad, your friend, whatever it is that resonates. So in regards to who Libra was dealing with, okay, how do they feel towards Libra in this current moment, and what happened between Libra and them? Okay, let's take a look. So, Two of Pentacles, Six of Wands. Okay, oh yeah. I can see where some of this is coming from. All right, Libra, let's talk about it. So, in regards to who is surrounded by you or who you've dealt with, Two of Pentacles to a Six of Wands. This is the type of person here, okay, who was consistently looking for attention, but feeling as if they never got it. Now, for some of you, Libra, this could have been your own trauma that you've gone through as a child. You may have felt like you never got enough attention. You may have felt like you never got enough love from your parents, for some of you. We're going really deep here. So keep in mind, even though I'm talking about a person you're dealing with, it might be vice versa, and this might be you, okay? But either way, you have a Two of Pentacles and you got a Six of Wands. So I feel like whoever you're connecting with was a person who was very inconsistent with attention giving. It was an individual who didn't really know how to show love, at least in the correct way, and they always seemed to be very on the fence or very indecisive in regards to how they spread it or shared it with you. So it almost feels like you were dealing with somebody who was definitely inconsistent, and considering and due to their inconsistency, it started to confuse you emotionally. Like, how do I know? Oh, Libra, I'm getting emotional. Wow. Let me get a second. So I feel like whoever you're connecting with, Libra, they were the type of person who would show you love and then they wouldn't show you love. And it would confuse you on, do you care for me at all? You know, you'd kind of come to this question of, does this person really give a fuck about me? And Queen of Pentacles over here. It always seemed like they took very good care of themselves, but did they ever take very good care of you? Now, of course, this person would say to the death of them that they do love you, right? The Lover's card. They acknowledged whatever love that you two had. They acknowledged that they cared for you. But with the King of Wands, sometimes it almost looked like they never cared at all. Sometimes it looked like they only cared about themselves. So whoever this person is in your life, no matter how much they would say that they loved and cared for you, you always kind of came from a place where you felt like you weren't loved. You always felt like, even though they'd say it, it was like, I don't feel it. And that's kind of where it's coming from. This definitely feels to me, this could be a recent relationship you have, but this definitely feels to me a childhood trauma. For some, it could be from your parents. It could be from, you know, a person in general. And I don't think that you're an attention-seeking person, Libra. I just think that you wanted to feel loved. And because you didn't, it led you to feel like you needed to act out in certain other ways to gain attention. Fuck, we're going deep. You got a Strength card here, a Nine of Swords, and then you got a Chariot card as well. In regards to the person you're dealing with, I feel like they made you strong in a sense. You know, whoever you're connecting with had to make you strong because how they treated you and with the way that you felt so unloved, it made you so bitter towards love. I think that whoever this is you're connecting with, Libra, considering that you felt so on the fence, considering that you didn't really know what true love was, I think you became numb to the real feeling of love. Like, almost where you come from, I don't know what love is. Because if love is this, then this isn't really something that I want to put myself in. So with the Strength card to the Nine of Swords, I feel like whoever you're connecting with here almost made you dismiss love in your early years, or almost made you dismiss love in your recent connections. Somebody here who's showing up, it doesn't matter how recent it is, this is somebody who fucked up the perspective or perception of love for you. So, like I said, this can be a blast of the past. This could be a parent. This could be your first relationship, whatever it is. Someone here scarred you in regards to love. Someone here made you feel that, well, maybe I'm not deserving of the best love because this is what I'm worthy of. So for some of you Libras here, you only feel like you're worthy of getting a little bit of affection here and there, and then at the same time getting a little bit of toxicity. It's almost like the love that you think is love isn't love, Libra. And I don't want to say that to hurt anybody or to offend anybody, but it just feels to me that you've been given false love. Because it doesn't matter if someone says, I love you. What matters is if someone really shows it. And if someone's going to show you they love you, they're going to be there for you all the time. They're going to respect you, and they're going to respect your boundaries. They're going to show you attention and affection. There's so many more levels to that too, man. That a person can love someone. You know, when someone really loves someone, they do anything for them. And they'd also do anything for their happiness. So I feel like because you felt so unloved at times, it kind of messed up your perception of love for you, you know? And it made you feel like, well, if this is love, then I don't really want it. It kind of numbed you to it. What was Libra's perspective after they went through this? Whether this was their parent or first love, whatever it is. You got a 7 or an 8 of Wands. You got a 3 of Wands. You got a 7 of Cups. So it definitely confused you. Yeah, so this is a cycle you've been sent into. So 8 of Wands to a 3 of Wands. You've always felt like stressful. You've always had a lot of stressful relationships for some of you. Because 8, 7, 5. So 8 of Wands minus 3 of Wands is the 5 of Wands, okay? So I almost feel like you've always been frustrated, Libra. And the reason why I say this is because I think you've always been frustrated that people don't understand you. I think you've always been frustrated that in relationships, people don't understand how you express your love. Because I think you've always been trying to express love, but you don't necessarily know how to do it based off an experience or trauma you've had. So I think that every time you formed a relationship with someone, you would show love very differently. And you would show love from your own perspective. And they wouldn't even get it. You would care for people in many different ways, but you always felt misunderstood. And 7 of Cups, that would confuse you. It would confuse you because it's like, well, if I'm showing someone love, why aren't they reciprocating it? It's because the person, whoever you were dealing with at the time, didn't necessarily know that was love. You know? And I think you got to the point, Libra, with the Death card to the 3 of Swords, where you've been heartbroken so many times, you don't even want to give love a second chance, because it's like, if no one can understand me and if no one can appreciate the love that I do offer, then what's the point of giving love to the world when I can just work on myself and work on my own mental health? 5 of Cups all the way to the 8 of Pentacles. And at the end of the day, Libra, I know that you believe that you'll be with the right one soon. I know that you believe that you'll have a chance at love one day, but right now you just feel like maybe you should retract from it if no one's going to understand who you are. So we're going really deep here, and I don't want to confuse anybody, and I really hope I'm not confusing anybody out here. So let me try to put what I'm saying into words because it's a lot of information, okay? So from what I'm seeing here, Libra, there is something that affected you in the way that you perceived love. The very first start of it all, which could have been from a father, a family member, or your first relationship. Now, how you were affected was because you felt a lack of attention, a lack of affection, yet you were told that you were being loved. And this kind of made your perception of love change a little bit, because it's like, well, if that's love, then okay, that's love. And I feel like you've kind of carried that mentality out into other relationships where you'd express it in the way that you knew. It's not that you would ghost people. It's not that you would hurt people. It's not that you were a negative or nasty person. I think you had your own form of love, but at the same time, you may have attracted connections where people have been mentally abusive towards you, where people may have not seen your value and undervalued you, where people would treat you like shit and you would sit there and take it because you thought that this is what love was. And that's not the truth of the situation, because in a real loving relationship, somebody will not 110% abuse you mentally, call you mean things, or treat you in a bad way. They will treat you like you're a motherfucking king or queen that you are. So when it comes to that, Libra, you may have taken a lot of shit in a lot of relationships because you thought that was love, but that wasn't love. And that's where your perception was first warped. From the number one, from the first time this happened to you. From the first time you took abuse or negativity from someone and it was called love. So once again, I hope I'm not confusing you, but if you guys can see where things are tying in, this whole giant cycle is going full circle for you. Now, coming into the present day, the World card, the Hierophant card, the Page of Pentacles. What are you recognizing? Well, you're recognizing that you have had trauma. You're recognizing that you have gone through many relationships of people treating you poorly and accepting them because you don't believe that you are worthy enough for someone to treat you in a really good way, because you believe that love could be that negativity as long as they say they love you. And now moving into 2020, you are getting so self-aware, realizing this is not love at all. This is not love at all. The way that people have treated me is not love. If people really want to treat me the right way, if people really cared for me, they wouldn't treat me this badly. So you're recognizing your worth, because I feel, Libra, through 2019, you went through that self-love ascension. You started to learn how to take care of yourself and how to love yourself and how to cut people out of your life who are toxic to you and harmful to you and treat you like shit, because you recognize that you don't deserve to be treated like shit. You don't. And you're taking responsibility of your traumas by changing your life and changing your perception, and now realizing that love is when someone genuinely cares for you and treats you how you deserve to be treated. And as you recognize this now, you will never let somebody undermine you or treat you like shit again, Libra. And I love that for you, because I'm so happy that you went through this transformation, but I can feel the sadness that you guys went through so fucking powerfully, man. And it's bad. Like, I feel that, Libra. I'm on the verge of having a fucking a crying and shit. This is the most intense reading I've ever had. I'm surrounded by crystals too, so the energy is being amplified, but holy fuck, man. But I'm so proud of you, because you went through this, Libra. You got through the cycle. You got through the trauma. You recognize what real love is, and you recognize that you're deserving of real love. In the past, you took so much shit from people that you didn't need to, because you thought you loved them or you thought they loved you. They lied to you, Libra. They didn't love you, because they didn't treat you how you deserve to be treated. And as you have broken this cycle, now moving forward, Chariot, you're no longer desensitized to love too. You're open to it. And that's where that Ace of Pentacles comes into play. You're open to new love. You're open to real love with the right kind of person. You're open to the right kind of relationships and forming the right kinds of bonds. I love this for you. Magician card, Page of Cups, Ten of Pentacles, and the Queen of Swords. Absolutely. Libra, don't take shit from nobody. Queen of Swords, Page of Cups, Ten of Pentacles, and the Magician card. Continue to know your value and continue to know your worth. Because you are going to get that beautiful dream relationship that you've always wanted. You are going to be with that right person, because no longer are you manifesting or staying around in cycles where people can negatively impact your life and treat you like shit. The moment you recognize your worth, you'll never let a person do that to you again. So you are always now moving forward. You are going to vibe with the right people. You are going to stick around with the right people, and you are going to stay with people that treat you how you deserve to be treated. And I love that for you, because now that you recognize that you are worthy of good relationships, of love, of genuine people, you will never allow any negative person that brings you down or puts you in a negative place ever again. That is no longer in your circle. That is banished from your circle. Hell yeah, Libra. You went through it, and it was painful, Libra. I know that. It was a painful transformation. It was an intense one. It was something that was hurtful, but it's feeling liberating now. You feel free from all the things you've gone through as you're releasing your traumas. And with that Gemini full moon we just had, most likely that could have been an important day for you. You might have felt a huge release come out of you as well. Because as we're moving now into January 2020, things are changing for you rapidly in the way that you view yourself, and the connections that you will be manifesting into your life will be so much more pure and so much more beautiful. They will be. You know? What do we got? Nine of Wands. Yep, absolutely. And the Emperor card. And one more, Three of Cups. Hell yeah, Libra. No longer are you going to fear. You're not going to fear no more people trying to be more controlling over you. You're not going to fear people trying to be more powerful over you, because you're recognizing that you are the Emperor and you are the Empress, and you have both of those energies, divine masculine and divine feminine. You are really grounding yourself this month, and you are really grounding yourself this year to not settle for anything that you are less deserving of. And with the Nine of Wands paired with the Three of Cups, you're no longer that person who takes all the shit from anyone. You are no longer the person who stays silent or stays quiet when something bad is happening. You are the person who's going to genuinely sit down and enjoy life, because you deserve to live a life that's worth living. You deserve to live an enjoyable life surrounded by good energy, good people, good vibes, good relationships, and genuinely enjoy it. And I'm sorry that I'm saying genuinely a lot, but you are really worthy of something beautiful, Libra. You are really worthy of living your best life. And I love so much that you are just at the tip of the iceberg. Because as you're moving into 2020, your whole life is going to change. This new decade is going to change for you, on the way that you view yourself and on the way that others view you, and on what you leave or allow in your energy center and what you remove from your energy center. 2020 is going to be miraculous for you. And beautiful things will manifest here. New friends, new relationships, new life paths, new career paths, all the things that can be so special moving into 2020. You're looking at a beautiful year, because I know that a lot of you Libras have said 2019 was hell. Maybe it was your hell, but 2020, it will not be your hell. It's time for 2020 to be your heaven, and it's time for you to enjoy it. Okay? All right. Thank you so much, Libra. I really appreciate this reading with you. I really appreciate your time watching this. This was definitely one of my most empathetic readings ever, because I always feel energy in readings, but this one I really felt your struggle. I really felt that on an energetic level. It was very intense. But I hope this really could help, and I hope that this gives you that sense of hope that 2020 will be a good thing for you. Don't fear it, okay? We're moving into a really good year. So I hope that you're excited for this year moving forward, and I hope that you're proud of yourself from what you've overcome, because you have taken responsibility for the things that have happened to you, and you're no longer allowing them to happen to you. And you're no longer living in the past as you're living in the present, and you are creating beautiful things in your life, okay? Wow, man. Thank you guys so much for watching. I hope it resonates. I hope it helps. Take care, Libra. Have an amazing, fantastic, and awesome rest of your January, and I will see you guys for your January mid-monthlies, all right? Peace, and I'm sorry for the intensity. Later, guys.